This presentation is designed for the Introductory Working Group session and preparation for the self-study report for the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. The accreditation self-study process is a time for the Harcum community to note our accomplishments and identify our weaknesses. Let's take a look at our accomplishments since the previous Middle States site visit. Financial stability of the college, initiation of new programs, growth of our partnership sites, use of smart classroom technology, implementation of online courses and programs. And let's take a look at our physical plant improvements. The Little Theater, the library, the dining hall, growth and remodeling of Melville Hall, and the Our Mother of Good Counsel campus. The Middle States Institutional Review Cycle is a decennial event with a self-study and site visit due every 10 years. In addition, all institutions must submit a periodic review report halfway through the decennial cycle. Upon review of the standard self-study and periodic review reports, the Middle States Commission may request additional information to check on an institution's adherence to the 14 standards. These additional reports can be in the form of a progress report, which is required if new policies or procedures were presented in the self-study or PRR, but no supporting evidence of their effectiveness was given. This supporting evidence in the form of assessments of the new policies and procedures would be presented in the progress report. A monitoring report may be requested by the Commission if it is felt that an institution is in non-compliance with any of the standards, and is a way to allow the institution to explain this misunderstanding. A warning may be issued if Middle States starts to lose faith in the institution's ability to adhere to the standards. You might wonder, well, what is Harcum's track record with self-study, periodic review, progress, and monitoring reports? And does it hold any significance to know this? Well, from a historian's perspective, maybe so. History is not just about what we were before, but who we are now. How have we progressed since the previous accreditation in the eyes of the Middle States Commission? Those who are unaware of history are destined to repeat it. If we look at our accreditation history since the last site visit, is this a cycle we want to repeat or want to change? Listed here are the reports requested by the Middle States Commission in response to the 2006 self-study and 2011 periodic review reports. A monitoring report was requested in response to the 2006 self-study to address issues of institutional effectiveness regarding college financial practices. A second monitoring report was requested in response to the 2011 periodic review report, again addressing institutional effectiveness in regard to planning and budgeting, and this time adding concerns about our educational effectiveness in regard to student learning outcomes. As a result of the information presented in the monitoring report of 2012, a progress report is requested for December 2014, where we will need to provide assessments proving our effectiveness in planning and budgeting, as well as providing assessment measures that document our effectiveness in faculty teaching and student learning. Now that we can see how important it is to prove our institutional and educational effectiveness to the Middle States Commission, How do we go about accomplishing this? Our effectiveness will be proven by our assessment measures. So, just what is assessment? Assessment is a method of evaluating performance and attainment. It is the process of asking and answering questions that seek to test if documentable realities, our institutional, our department, our program, and our learning goals align with our stated intentions, our institutional, our department, our program, and our learning outcomes. In the assessment process, we need to align each department and program's goals to the college's mission statement and institutional goals. We need to determine how learning is assessed. We need to report our findings, our results, and our evidence, and we need to close the loop. Pictured is one of the many models of the assessment loop. Step 1 is to formulate a plan or mission. Step 2 is to implement the plan. Step 3, assess the effectiveness of the plan. Did what you had hoped to accomplish actually happen? Step 4, make improvements and revisions to the plan based on the assessment results and how well your expectations were met. Then, remodel the plan to incorporate the revisions. Implement the plan with the new revisions. Assess the effectiveness of the revisions and make further improvements as needed. Hence, the never-ending cycle of the assessment loop. Here is another model of the assessment loop. It holds the same principle, but with a bit more detail. 1. Start with defining your mission statement and outcomes. This model is addressing student learning outcomes. 2. Specify a time frame that assessment will take place and the assessment tools to be used. 3. Review the assessment tools and make modifications to ensure that you will secure the information you hope to gain. 4. Gather all of your assessment information. 5. Review what was effective, what was not, and consider how you may alter your goals for the next time, and how this may affect your mission and desired outcomes. Here is yet another assessment loop featuring an 8-step model. Starting with the mission, establish goals to support the mission. State objectives for each goal. Define outcomes to be achieved for each objective. Identify methods to measure outcomes and criteria for assessment. Collect and analyze results. Take action to implement changes based on the analysis of your results. Make program improvements and adjust the mission to reflect these changes. Now that we are all rather loopy from discussing assessment, let's take a break and hopefully have some fun. Our institutional, department, and program goals need to reflect the college's mission statement. Harcum College seeks to provide men and women with outstanding career preparation that will meet or exceed the standards of their chosen professions. At Harcum, self-realization and preparation for participative citizenship are also of great importance. Intent upon remaining among the foremost independent 2-year colleges in America, Harcum aims at providing every student with the possibility not only for a rewarding career, but also for a fulfilling life. We will need to provide to the self-study report how Harcum answers to this mission statement. How do we provide our students with outstanding career opportunities? What activities do we provide to foster self-realization and participative citizenship? What is the benchmark we have set to determine that we have achieved the status of being the foremost independent two-year college in America. The steering committee plays a vital leadership role in the self-study process and holds these responsibilities: determining the key issues for the self-study, recommending a self-study model and developing a self-study design, coordinating the working groups to answer their assigned standards, assuring communication within the institution about the self-study process, ensuring that the timetable for the self-study and site visit is planned and implemented, and overseeing the review and completion of the self-study report and any other documents needed for the site visit team. The job of the working groups will be to develop questions that will address the effectiveness of the policies and procedures that relate to each group's assigned standards. These questions will guide the working group in their tasks of researching, analyzing, and reporting their findings as they assess the effectiveness of the practices of Harcum College. A standardized report template will be provided to all working groups that can be easily edited and incorporated into the self-study report. Cited here are the resources to use from the Middle States Commission on Higher Education to help us learn and understand the accreditation process. The Characteristics of Excellence in Higher Education provides a detailed explanation of each standard and guidance on how to apply these standards to our institutional mission. The self-study, Creating a Useful Process and Report, provides an overview of the self-study process and offers ideas on planning and organization. Verification of compliance with accreditation-relevant federal regulations identifies the topics that need to be addressed to ensure our compliance with federal regulations. These are not Middle States standards. The document roadmap is a template that can be used to ensure that we provide appropriate documentation to address each standard. There is no need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to establishing a self-study design. Referenced here are self-study design models from colleges that have presented at Middle States conferences and have shared their stories of success with Middle States accreditation. We will use these models to develop our own self-study design report at Harcum. I hope that you have gained some insight on what lies ahead and what needs to be accomplished as we officially begin our self-study process. As the Academic Liaison Officer at Harcum, I look forward to working together and answering any questions you have. Your mission right now is to read the material provided at this session to better understand your role and the expectations that the Middle States Commission on Higher Education has of Harcum College. When we meet again, the working groups will use this time to create the questions that will guide you in addressing each standard and will be incorporated into the self-study design report.